Hi everyone, welcome to this week Weekly Market Update. So finally, at last week or this weekend, we finally know that who is the U.S. president elections. Congrats to Joe Biden. Finally, he's be elected as the coming U.S. president to take over Trump. So of course, there is a lot of things play on, like the vote counts, everything's play on. But I just follow the news report. As long as they say he's the next president, so we will just admit that he's the next president. Not like I said previously, we are not going to go into further debate on the politics wise. So right now, what's next after that, right? Is market back to the peaceful once again once we have elected? I can only say that this US president election is actually one uncertainty out from the checklist. All right, remember I've been saying that there's three checklists. One is the COVID cases spiking. Second is one COVID cases spiking, and when is the vaccine coming out? Second is when the stimulus. Third is the US president election. So one off from the checklist. So there's two more things to watch out from. All right. So as we know that last week, right? We can see that market has been spiking up. This is the Dow Jones index chart. We can see that the market since Monday has been going upwards. All right. This fourth day of bullish is mainly is because when the vote is counting, right? If let's say you have zoomed down to the zoom into the market itself, right? You can see the market is very volatile at the point of time. It can be up, down, wave within 100 to 200 to 300 points. However, these 4 days of spike is because it's more certain that Biden is winning, is leading on the counts, on the vote counts. All right. So, however, on the Friday itself, the bull did not continue, even though the economy's earnings report like non-farm payroll, the unemployment rate is all good, but it's lack of the energy to go even higher. All right, ultimately, you not to forget, the COVID is still there. So what is being Joe Biden is being elected. One thing is we know that this spike up is once president is be elected, we are looking forward on the similar support. Correct or not? Because the finally there's president can actually step in to work on it to help on the economy itself. All right, so this coming week we can see that uh the earnings report continue. So we have McDonald coming on Baidu, so on and so on. So if let's say you are holding any of the counter, then you might want to pay attention into it. But this coming week, I as you can see, couple of big company like Baidu, like JD, like Pinduoduo, all this is a Chinese company. All right. So as we know that Trump is no longer the president, people will think that the trade war will be more lenient. So it will be side more on the Chinese company. So if let's say you are entering any of the company itself, which I have highlighted Baidu on last week, then you might want to pay attention. Understand that Baidu tried to declare their earnings report last week, but I'm not sure there's a delay, and they're coming to on this coming Monday as well. All right. So what's next? Like I say, what's next? Since after Biden is declared the winner, what's next for investor? So we know that like I say, if let's say you are more re-averse, you didn't enter, it's because you want to pay more attention to know what is the direction of Joe Biden. Correct or not? As you know, he is more support on clean energy. So market might have priced in some in the market itself, some of the shares like solar company, might those kind of the shares have spiked up, cannabis, infrastructure. All right, and we know that, like I say, since no matter who will be the president, either Trump or Biden's, right, one thing going for sure is that they will kick in on the similar support. And there, when you print more money, it will cause US dollar to drop. All right, on the chart itself, I'll share we can see that US dollar dropping on the last 4 days. All right, so it's never too late to enter into the market as long right now we have a clear direction on what industry we should focus on. Then uh, we will wait for the market to commit to us before we commit to the market lah. All right. So right now we will then look into a selective counter to see what should we pay attention on. However, because of Biden's being declared as a winner, right? I believe there will be speculation on some counter like travel counter, leisure counter on the coming weeks. All right, we will look at the chart later because they believe that Biden have a better plan and his coronavirus task force will handle this pandemic wisely and promptly as well. All right. But not to forget the cases of COVID has been spiking higher and higher each day. All right, so let's take a look on the chart itself. So this is Dow Jones. So for always look at the index wise, right? So for Dow Jones, you can see I was predicting it was actually we will be trading sideways at this second area, but it didn't spike up because market put it at the positive side. So however, right now, where are we looking? Will it continue to go up or down? I'm not sure, but is there something I like to highlight on you is actually on this channel. This channel we can see. Okay, so there's a channel right now is forming. Will it spike even higher? I'm not sure. I don't have any crystal ball. After 4 days of spiking with gap in between, if let's say the steam leg off and it continue to come down, then this is the channel we will be playing at. All right, COVID is there, even though market is priced forward. Hopefully, looking at the positive side, I'm not bearish or bullish at this point of time because there's no much signal at this point of time. But if let's say I want to find a counter to short, then I think the overall market is bad. Like I mentioned before, I will short at the FTSE order deck side, correct or not? Because beside COVID, they don't have new president. Beside COVID, they also have the pre-exit, right? So I will share on the DEX counter later. All right, so this is what we are looking at Dow Jones Index. And then the next counter, before I bring in a new counter, I like to review on the previous trade that I have. If let's say you have paid attention on my video, you should know that I'm talking on Ethereum as well. Ethereum is one of the counter. I say there's a cup and handle. Remember, look at this cup and handle. All right, I say with the PayPal cup and handle. So if let's say you have managed to enter, right, should make some money here. All right, can you see that? Yeah. So hopefully you can make some benefit from this counter cup and handle. If you didn't manage to enter, then wait for some pullback. All right. So this is a cup and handle breakout play. And then second one, which I mentioned previously, is actually China A50. I say it's a bullish thread. I think I mentioned quite long ago. I draw this. Mentioned quite a long. I say wait for it to come back and play. Can you see that? It's a bullish thread. All right. So you look at the weekly chart. It is more clearer. Have a clearer picture. Kind of pull, flag, pull. All right, so there still be more upside for this one, upside in tech, especially the relationship for this trade war, China trade war should be improved when Biden is being elected. Next is actually this stock counter expo. All right, as potent. All right, this thing I mentioned last week, right? If you pay attention on my last week video, I said that it actually dropped below this support area of the channel. And if let's say it managed to close higher, maintain on this support, right? It should go even higher. So right now, let's look at the weekly chart. Everything seems good. It closed higher. It's been supported again. So the channel is still intact. All right. Next, I mentioned this we are talking about solar energy, right? Solar energy at a point of time, solar energy, I mentioned three counter. One of it is plug. Uh, I say that plug's technical is very good. Why can you see that go up? All right, resistance, come down, pull back, go up again, turn support, go up again, turn support, and I mentioned here. I say this is a group support. If you have managed to enter, congrats to you. I think this trend right now is mainly due to Biden is being elected as well. He always support clean energy, right? So plug is one of them. So if you have managed to enter, congrats to you. And next thing I mentioned, like I say, a stimulus going to kick in. So things to take note is actually the dollar, right? So dollar, can you see that last 4 days, last Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. All right. So once the market opened, it came down. Correct or not? Because as president going to be elected, stimulus sooner or later will be involved. Correct or not? So ultimately, we are weak at the dollar sign. We are weak at the dollar. So with this candlestick, with the overall fundamental picture, right, we will see more downside on the US dollar. So if you are trading any forex pair, just take note on the dollar side. All right. Beside that, let's take a look at few of the counter. So one of the index, if let's say I want to short, right, I will look at DEX. So DEX is actually one of the counter I'm looking at. We can see why DEX, for that is quite obvious as you can see here. Let me draw some support here. All right, so we can see here is like a triple top. All right, you can see here is a triple top. 1, 2, 3. Break the support, came back, it becomes resistant. So here is the SR line. All right, so here is the resistance, supporter resistance. Okay, so beside that, right, beside this supporter resistance, if I wanted to short, I will choose to short this, that short the US side, right? And beside that, one good thing, let me one good thing, if let's say you are person on belief on the down, the down theory, right? You can see that this is actually wave 1, wave 2, just nice at the support, all right? And then we are looking at wave 3. Kind of 1, 2, 3. All right, if you want to start here, also can. Wave 1, wave 2, pull back. Wave 3 is always the longest, should be, cannot be short. And then wave 4, pull back. Once it go even higher than this number 1, right? This number 1, right? That is invalid. So right now, this is the junction we are looking for it to come down. All right, if market is at the bear side. So for DEX, I'm looking at the downside. All right, so I'm more on the bearish side for DEX instead. If I really want to short, I will short on DEX instead. All right, so this is support, triple top once again. So support, turn resistance. All right, so this is where we are looking on DEX itself. So next thing we are looking at, remember Intel, I say do not enter. I mentioned that. Right now, where are we? We are at the do not enter zone. Can you see that? I say do not enter zone because it's very volatile. All right, we don't know what is the direction going forward. As we know that Biden is going to increase tax for companies, so company corporate tax will be increased. Will it turns any impact on the company itself? We're not sure, but this is a very bearish sign, very bearish candle on the weekly chart. So here is do not enter. We will wait for it to reach the demand zone, then we will see how it goes. All right. Anyway, market has all-time high. If let's say the overall market is come down, D will be come down as well. All right. Next thing, all right, since Trump is no longer in the market, will Twitter able to survive? We know that Twitter earnings report isn't good, so there's one bearish candle on the release side. We can see there's a big gap. Can you see that after the earnings report? And right now, we know that Trump loves to tweet. Without the Twitters, we no longer Trump's using Twitter. Will Twitter survive? I'm not sure. But if let's say you want, I'm actually on the downside. We can look for some pullback to cover the gap here. All right, then we are looking at the downside for Twitter. Take note on Twitter. All right, so one of the solar counter which I'm going to introduce, which I mentioned, if you believe right on the hype, right, you can actually take a look at this VVPR. All right, Vivo Power International. VVPR, I know this is a penny counter, is less than $10. It's relatively new. This hype is all due to the solar energy. But if you really want, right, this might be one of the hype right now is support. All right, we got 100 days support as well, moving average 100 day. So if you want, you can look at somewhere here to wait for some spike up. All right, to cover this gap, and then we will see where it goes. All right, will you form a head and shoulder? Just nice, I'm not sure. All right, so this is one of the solar company. Of course, compared to those big companies like First Solar, all this, right, this is more risky, but high risk, high reward. All right, it's subjective to individual. All right, of course, I did some good charting, I did some bad charting, but overall is how you manage your risk reward. All right, take note. Next thing, which I mentioned. So, people believe Biden come in will help to neutralize the COVID cases, make it better. So market is always forward looking. Some people might be looking at airline counter, hotel counter. I'm looking at Wind Resort. Wind Resort right now there's a triangle forming. Of course, it's the downtrend right now. We are at the downtrend, correct downtrend. So will this continue to go down or spike up to break out? This is a very important triangle. All right, very important triangle. So we have to monitor closely where should it go. Sorry. All right, where should this go? All right, so it's a downtrend, like I say. So will it continue to go down? This will depend on how our new U.S. president help out on the pandemic of this COVID, right? All right, so next thing, forward looking, right? Hotel, next thing, of course, cannot forget transport, airline, or Carnival. All right, Carnival right now, we can see my view is still bearish. He haven't even break out. So this is the weekly chart. I'm not sure. CDC mentions never locked down, but I think they talk about no passenger. So what's the point of saying that they remove the lift off, right? Ultimately, it's a downtrend. So this is the risk you are taking with a I think minimum risk. So if you want, you can continue monitor. Wait for it to break first before you enter. Wait for it to break. All right. Wait for the market to commit to you before you commit to the market. So I have no view on Carnival. We just continue monitor. All right. Next counter is actually copper. If you are really keen, right, it's actually copper. Why? Because by the one infrastructure. Infrastructure required copper. Correct. So if you're really keen, you can look into copper. Copper has been spiking. This is actually on the uptrend. All right. So we wait for it to pull back. Or right now, you can actually wait for next higher. Can you see that? Okay. So we wait for the next higher, pull back, and then you long. All right. Copper going forward. Uh, if let's say they want to build more thing, they definitely need more infrastructure. They want more infrastructure, they need copper. All right, so this is how we play on commodities. Okay, then that's all for this week. That's all for this week. Hopefully, you guys enjoy on this weekly market update. Yes, please share with your friends. And one more thing, yeah, I'm sorry, I forget to share. It's actually Baidu. I said I mentioned. I'm watching closely. All right, Baidu, I said that it's a triangle. It break out at a point of time. If you have been following on my Telegram, if you have long and you hold on to it after you long up, right? After it spike up, it has been consolidating. Even though how volatile the market is, it has been one-way trending. So this is Chinese related company, earnings report is coming. So if you have long into Baidu, congrats to you. All right, so we are still holding on Baidu at the moment. Like I mentioned, all the Chinese related company has been doing well. Can you see? Has been doing well. JD, PDD, Pinduoduo, all is been doing well. All right, so I managed to catch Baidu because of this triangle. I shared in my Telegram. All right, I shared when this triangle formed. If you manage to enter, congrats if you're in my Telegram. All right, so that's all for this week. Have a nice day, everyone. Have a nice weekend. If you like it, if you benefit from any of the chart, or if you manage to make some money or some profit, please share with your friends. Share this to your friends as well. All right, like the video as well. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye bye.